Happening now, the search for a missing man continues. The latest details coming up. 3 arrested after a violent home invasion.
And I'm Dakota Hunter in the First Defense Weather Center. We've got 70s on tap for most areas today. That's going to feel great. But seasons do battle tomorrow with possible freezing rain in the Buffalo Metro and probably flooding rains also on Sunday. We'll talk about it all coming up.
And we're looking back at the top 3 stories of the week. Join our conversation in our new and noteworthy segment. That's News Now for Friday, April 13th, 2018.
Live and on demand from the Chautauqua Audio Works studios in downtown Jamestown. This is your source for breaking news. WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us. Good Friday the 13th. It's 60 degrees. You're looking live at Lakewood. A rundown of all the stories you need to know is moments away. But first, we turn to the man of the hour, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's been working hard, and he joins us with a first look at our forecast.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Well, good afternoon, everybody, I should say. And apparently my mic is off. There it is.
There you go.
It's on now. Boy, I mean, you know, if you people knew the kind of rat race that goes around on here on
and you're busy today, right?
I am sweating out here because I've been running around with a check with my head cut off. But let's go in there and take a look at the Viper radar to start off with, and let's get to my job. And you can see pretty much for today, we had a few of those rain showers that were coming through the area pretty much early this morning, and they're all kind of hightailing now to the east, and that's the good news. We'll see some partial sunshine for the afternoon hours, so of course that will allow temperatures to be boosted up a little bit as well. So as we move forward, now my clicker's not working. This is great. As we move forward here, you'll be able to see here. So the forecast for today then, we will actually here, well, the forecast for today will be in the 70s for today. That's the good news with partial sunshine. The rain will end for today, and it will be just a bit windy out there as well, with the winds coming around out of the northwest as well today. We'll talk about it more coming up a little bit later on. Back to you, Justin.
All right, Dakota, thank you. Police are searching for a missing 35-year-old Jamestown man who was last seen walking in the downtown area early Wednesday morning. Take a look at him. Sean M. Carpenter was reportedly walking home to his house on Superior Street, but police say he never made it home. Carpenter is described as a white man with a short beard, brown hair, and blue eyes. He's 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighing around 180 pounds and was wearing a brown baseball hat with a green long-sleeve jacket and gray and red sneakers at the time. Now, yesterday we spoke with friends and family who were searching for Carpenter near the Chautauqua River. According to one of the family members, he may have been trying to cross the Main Street Bridge, which is currently under construction. Anyone with information on Carpenter's whereabouts should call the Jamestown Police at 483-7537. The number again is 483-7537. And a man wielding a shotgun broke into a home early Thursday morning and tried to hide from police by draping a shower curtain over his body in a bathroom. That's according to a JPD media release. The call came in as a possible home invasion shortly before 5:30 at 504 West 6th Street. Police said once they arrived and established a perimeter, they made contact with the suspects in the house. 30-year-old James Sullivan was taken into custody after authorities said they found him in a bathtub with a shower curtain draped over him. Sullivan was charged with entering the residence with a shotgun. 36-year-old Ralph Berger of Corey and 34-year-old Lisa Gibbons of Jamestown accompanied Sullivan into the house. Berger, Gibbons, and Sullivan were all charged with felony trespassing. Sullivan's also facing obstruction charges. And Chautauqua County Executive George Borrello is looking into the possibility of a north-south corridor project between Warren, Pennsylvania and Jamestown. Borrello recently sat down with officials from PA to discuss the possibility of working together to better Route 60 and 62. The last major renovation to that area were in the 1960s. Officials hope to complete a plan to further evaluate and improve the infrastructure on those roadways. They're calling for local, state, and federal investments to help further the development. And the frame of UPMC Chautauqua WCA's hospital's new addition is nearing the end of assembly as hospital staff and community leaders held a beam-raising ceremony on Thursday. The new maternity care center and inpatient mental health unit is a $20 million project funded by both state and community grants. Hospital president and CEO Betsy Wright told us that the project has 42,000 square feet of patient care areas.
The maternity services will be all private rooms. They'll have in-room bathrooms, great lighting, a wonderful, fully equipped OR for a possible emergent C-section or even a scheduled C-section. So just really state-of-the-art equipment. In the mental health unit, we'll have a couple of comfort rooms, one on the adolescent wing, one for the adult wing, just really adding some additional amenities for our patients that need mental health care here, as well as inpatient services for both adults and adolescents. We do have a crisis area within our emergency department, so if a patient comes to us in crisis, we have a very safe, calming area to treat them, to get them through their crisis, and then to connect them with whatever level of service they need.
The project is expected to be complete in mid-2019. Well, there's a growing threat of freezing rain Saturday and Saturday night into early Sunday as very cold air will slip into western New York during the day on Saturday. For the very latest on this growing threat, we turn to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. Dakota, the question of the day, how big will this threat be?
Well, right now it's looking like that the highest threat of the ice is probably going to be right along the Niagara frontier, but we can't rule out the chance for some icing down in our direction. So just for today, 60s and 70s for most areas today. It's going to be warm, but as I was telling you about the past couple days, that warm front's going to stall right out across our area, and that's going to be the battle of the seasons. And as we take a look at the map here, again, that front's going to split the difference between the southern tier and then into the Niagara frontier, where it's going to be 30s and freezing rain up here, and then 60s probably throughout the early day on Saturday, but then temperatures will fall as we go pretty much throughout the day on Saturday. Now, going into Saturday, freezing rain likely northern. It may work down to the south as the temperatures start to become colder for Saturday. And here's just a model projection, about half an inch to over half an inch. That is significant ice accumulation, mainly northward. If we get any ice down here, it's probably going to be around 1/10 of an inch, but enough to slicken up things. And flooding rain potential on Sunday, so just a whole bunch of stuff. These are just rainfall totals, probably around 2 inches on Sunday. So, boy, lots of stuff going on. I'll talk about all of it coming up in that full weather segment in just a few.
All right, Dakota, thank you. Coming up, we're hearing from you. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in our new and noteworthy segment. We'll be right back.
Where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
Everything's made fresh here. We love to be outside, and it's nice inside if it's raining, so we have a choice.
Locals and non-locals agree that the Main Landing is quickly becoming a destination.
It's just so casual, and just the food is amazing.
I love the hamburgers.
But I really like the tuna I had.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
I just love to be with the dogs, and I like to do them one at a time. They don't wait for 5 hours in my shop. We have full groom, which includes everything from A to Z, nails, of course brushing, any trimming that needs to be done. I do offer teeth brushing, which is a little extra. So if he takes me 2 hours, it's $40. If he takes me 3 hours, I still keep it down. As long as the dog comes back happy and not at the door, I'm happy.
And welcome back to News Now. Good Friday to you. You know what? Ryan is here with us. Has this ever freaked you out? Friday the 13th.
Yeah, well,
Like, I don't know. I seem like it's more like, I guess.
the older you get, the less important it gets, and the less
Right.
superstitious I am. However, when it comes to sports, I am superstitious. Like, I will wear my hat backwards if my favorite team is rallying in the 9th inning. I will continue to wear it backwards. But as far as Friday the 13th, I still remember that damn Jason, like, he scared the crap out of me.
Right. Like, it's a scary movie.
It is
I mean,
scary.
for real. But I don't know about the day. It's not that. I mean, knock on wood.
Well, I hope
I
nothing
don't want
bad
to
happens
jinx
today.
myself.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a news-heavy day, though.
Yeah.
It's a news-heavy day
Right.
for sure. A lot of
Last
serious
48 hours have been pretty intense. I know coming up in the next block, we're going to talk about the stories that have captivated you out there throughout the week.
How about the last
major
2
stories,
weeks?
right, have been incredibly news heavy for Jamestown. But just in the last 48 hours here, we have a missing man in the city of Jamestown. That the family members are out there looking today. They told us yesterday that they plan on continuing to search today, and then also, a big announcement from WCA Hospital. I mean, we've known this has been going on, but the beam raising ceremony as work on that new wing of the hospital continues, and just going to offer services that we were just talking throughout the break, you can't get right now in Chautauqua County.
Let's throw this out there for the devil's advocate side of new and noteworthy. The community, let's just cut to the chase. The community at large does not trust WCA. I mean, that's well documented. There's a lot of lawsuits going on right now that we don't know about. There's stuff that we do know about. In fact, let me share an experience. I went on a ride-along with JPD about 3 years ago, and they took a man into custody after a 3-hour kind of negotiation with him. He locked himself in a bathroom. It was a domestic call originally, and when they got to the emergency room, he had 1 gram of cocaine on him, powder cocaine. He tried to take the cocaine out of his pocket while he was handcuffed to the gurney, and police had to fight with him. It literally took 4 cops, two undercover and 2 plainclothes, to take this guy into custody. And when I was in the aftermath of all this, when I was talking to one of the nurses, she said that's the regular occurrence here.
Wow.
So the WCA employees, I can tell you this right now, the morale is good outwardly, and Betsy's, she is who she is. I don't really know her. I don't have an opinion about her. We, have contact with the PR person, but the community, if WCA and the community are going to be as one, they need to get on the same page. And I'm all for it. How do we do it, though? That's the question. Is it more transparency? I don't know, because I've had experiences I don't want to share. My son was born at WCA, and it was a wonderful experience.
And I think a lot of people, have good and bad experiences with everything, right? And they call, I'm not afraid to say this. A lot of people in the community say WCA, worst care available.
Right.
That's kind of the joke. And you look at it, they are truly trying to now make an effort to improve the hospital. The partnership with UPMC is amazing for them. That's one of the reasons why they're building this expansion.
It's the only reason they're building the expansion.
Exactly. They couldn't have got the funding without UPMC. That's what I learned yesterday at that beam raising ceremony.
And here's the one thing, 3 years ago I might have said, to hell with WCA, and I think they're a horrible hospital. I don't think they're a horrible hospital. I think the perception is horrible, and I think our health, our general overall health as a community is horrible. The Chautauqua County Health Assessment proves it, and when you're unhealthy, you are unhappy. It goes hand in hand.
Right.
So with that said, and again, devil's advocate for you out there, if you want to comment, is it the hospital or is it you? You need to look in the mirror, because the hardest thing to do is look at ourselves.
Right. Today we can talk about this. We just signed a great partnership with the Fitness Bunker
in Lakewood. Yes.
in Lakewood. Check out our Facebook Live earlier today. They're doing great things there. Part of that partnership is we get a gym membership.
Yep.
And I am excited to hold myself accountable to lose some weight.
I'm excited
and
to
get
see you on the
healthy.
treadmill.
Right, and you know what? And it's good. This is what we're meant to do. And and a lot of people, I think it's easy. At least speaking from my experience, it's easy to sit on the couch and eat potato chips and binge watch stuff on Netflix.
It's also easy to eat garbage, not take care of yourself, smoke, drink, eventually get a heart attack or die of cancer, and then say it was the doctor's fault when it's not the doctor's fault.
So we're going to say hello to Scott, Joyce, Connie, Gary. Your comments coming up in just a bit. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter is on the other side. We'll be right back.
with coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Do news like no one else. Investigations that get results.
There was a bunch of kids over here playing football, and the ball kicked over onto her. She picked it up and took a butcher knife, stabbed it. Cops wouldn't do nothing.
WNY News Now investigates, standing up for you while holding the powerful accountable. If you have a problem, we're here to help. WNY News Now. WNY News Now is sponsored by Chautauqua Audio Works, 3335 South Roberts Road in Fredonia. More than a music store. Call 679-4333. Call now, 679-4333. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first. Now, your first defense forecast with Dakota Hunter.
Hey, welcome back to News Now. Now, since I had inadvertently skipped over it earlier, let's take a look at the forecast for today very quickly. So, showers early throughout the day, partly sunny today, and it will be mild, but there will be a temperature difference here. 53 near the immediate Lake Erie shoreline, going to 70 inland. Boy, that's going to feel nice. Yes, I know.
Break
we're all
out the
rejoicing in it.
suntan.
I'm not getting optimistic yet.
Yeah, I know. Ryan's got the good idea there with a southwest.
Dakota has to say next.
Yeah, with a southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. And now we got to go. Well, first of all, let's take a look at radar. And you can see not a whole lot going on. A lot of that rain that we had is now pushed out to the east. That's the good news. I think probably for the remainder of the afternoon, the clouds will start breaking through the remainder of the afternoon. We'll get some partial sunshine. So that's really going to help warm areas up. But a winter weather advisory for freezing rain is in effect for the Niagara Frontier. This goes in effect tomorrow, and it lasts until 10 a.m. on Saturday. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a chance some of that freezing rain may actually make its way to the southern tier. It's not certain at this point, but there is potential that we could pick up some ice accumulation out of it probably on Saturday later in the day. Live look outside, you can see the clouds breaking, and we're seeing some sunshine out there as well. Oh boy, it is going to be good. It's 52, that's the current number out at the Jamestown Airport. It feels like 50 with a south wind of 6 and 9-mile visibility there at the airport. That's of course north of the city. Mostly cloudy skies being reported there, but I think that'll probably break out to partly to, if not mostly, sunny skies for the afternoon. The forecast high for today for the city is around 69 degrees. We should be around 53, so that's way above average. We bottomed out at just a little over 51 degrees tonight, so that's that actually wasn't too bad. And we picked up 0.16 inches of rain yesterday, which brings our yearly total to just a little over 11.5 inches. Let's take you through Future Scan, and we're going to time all this out for you to show you what's going on here. So for today, if there's any rain, it's probably going to be confined Buffalo northward. Everybody else down in the southern tier, it's going to be dry for the remainder of the day. That's the good news. Then as we go into pretty much tonight, there might be a chance for a few isolated showers tonight. And look at this stuff up here just behind the banner. This is this freezing rain, and the red is actually the sleet. The pink is the freezing rain. And I think in Ontario, it's going to be a significant icing event. What we have to look at is how much of this freezing rain gets down here. You can see we're starting to mix in this sleet. Now, if it's all freezing rain, that's going to be an issue because it's going to be a prolonged period of probably around 7 to 8 hours of freezing rain. If we get more of this sleet mixing in, then that's going to keep the ice accumulations down. And you can see we're still, then it changes over to this freezing rain tomorrow afternoon. And then again, peek how it's starting to peak down into the southern tier. And there is a chance that it starts to mix in down in the southern tier. I think probably down in our direction, we might have more sleet mixing in. That's going to hold down our accumulations. But once you go northward, this is going to be that prolonged period of freezing rain. And the totals could be significant here. And again, you can see it's just going to continue throughout later in the day tomorrow and then going into early Sunday morning. And you can see the freezing rain and sleet continues, and then more freezing rain kind of mixes in, and it continues pretty much Buffalo northward. That's going to be the best chance for seeing the significant ice accumulation. And here's just one model idea as into how much ice they could pick up Anything over 1/4 of an inch is significant because that's when it starts to weigh down trees and power lines. It's going to be right along the Niagara frontier, Buffalo to Rochester, anywhere in between. This is where the heaviest amounts of the icing will be. If we do see some ice, it's probably going to be around 1/10 of an inch down in our direction. It'll be enough to slicken up roadways, but not significant. But again, there is a chance that the National Weather Service is looking at possibly upping that winter weather advisory for the Niagara frontier to an ice storm warning. It's a potential. It's not definite that they're going to do it yet, but these totals are definitely significant once you go out that way. Whoa. What happened there? Anyway, let's take a look at the futurecast rain amounts. And you can see also for Sunday, we're going to probably get into a flooding rain potential on Sunday as well. So rain totals probably for Sunday will probably reach around 2 inches or so for Sunday. So for Saturday, you can see the temperatures. It's going to vary depending on where you are. Lake Erie shoreline 40s once you work northward 30s, and then farther inland temperatures will be in the 60s as well. It's Friday the 13th. I think that's why everything's going wrong today. Here comes the next 7 days of your life that are brought to you by Quick Solutions. And boy, the weekend still 60 Saturday. That's going to be in the southern tier. Everybody else is probably going to be 30s. Temperatures go back down to the 40s for early next week, and 30s come our way again, and it's going to be up down for early next week. How about we take a quick break and we'll all reset, and we'll be right back.
First Defense Weather is sponsored by Quick Solutions of Jamestown. Count on Quick Solutions for printing, copying, mass mailings, and so much more. Part of your team. Learn more at QuickSolutionsUSA.com. That's QuickSolutionsUSA.com. You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
It's tax time, so get to Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown for all of your vehicle needs. Service, inspection, vehicle sales, they do it all. For all of your automotive, motorcycle, and ATV service needs, Express Bike and Auto even offers financing. Your true one-stop vehicle shop is Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown. They're located at 1761 Foot Avenue Extension next to Quick Fill. Express Bike and Auto in Jamestown. Stop looking, start saving today.
Where coverage comes first. You're watching WNY News Now. You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back to News Now. Time to check in with your comments. Connie checking in saying, have a happy and safe Friday the 13th. You betcha, Connie. Looking forward to it. Moving up to Linda. Hello, Linda. Saying good job to us. Linda, I don't know why you'd say good job to Mr. Dakota Hunter. Let me tell you, I do not want to hear that more rain and snow is on the way.
Shoot the messenger. He's only the he's only the liaison.
Right.
He's only the liaison between the weather, Mother Nature, and us.
Smanthers, thank you, Smanthers, first of all, for commenting throughout all of our shows. She seems to always be tuning in. We appreciate that. She says, once established, a stigma is hard to eradicate. WCA has been a well-known place to go if on Medicaid. Anyone else who has better insurance and capable transportation beckons medical care outside of the area. That does seem to be a pretty common reoccurring theme. And it seems like Connie does have a story here to tell about WCA. Good or bad, I mean, really, everybody, there's a lot there, Connie, if you're interested, go ahead and read her comment, but, a lot of people are, some people are on one side of the scope, some people are on the other side of the scope, and it seems like anytime that you're having a business or some sort of product that you sell, the good thoughts, the good comments don't always show up. It's whenever you have a bad experience, people really, they shout it from the rooftop.
Bad news travels fast.
Right. And we've seen it here, too.
Yeah, and this is all subjective. If people took care of themselves, let's really get honest with ourselves, people. If we all took care of ourselves and we all lived right, which is, everybody's a sinner. It's impossible to do it. It is impossible to be completely 100% sin-free and live according to just immaculate standards.
Right.
However, everybody's going to have an opinion. I know there are great people that work at WCA. I don't want to demoralize our local hospital. What's more important than health care in this country right now? Well, you don't really have an opinion about it until you get sick. So, you know, that's why the hospital's under scrutiny. It is one of the hottest topics that we don't address here in Jamestown because it's contentious and people just don't really, they're not proactive about it, including us.
And you know, for me, you know, I think about, you know, health insurance, right? It's expensive. And it's like, well, you know what? I'm 20 years old. I don't need it. But wait, maybe I do if something happens. You know, God forbid I'm in a, not just like an emergency, like car accident type thing, but even like general health checkups. That stuff's important. You have to keep yourself going. A good body and mind are in sync.
I want to touch real quick on the missing man. It is a tragedy. Our hearts, thoughts, prayers go out to the Carpenter family, especially his mother, who he lived with. And it's just a horrible situation. I hope they find him. But I'm telling you right now, in no way was there any possibility that somebody, unless they were stumbling drunk and it was very dark, could fall through that gap, because it's not a very large gap, although I don't know the circumstances when he allegedly walked southbound down Main. But it's tough to wrap your head around because there's so many missing people, and whether you say man or woman, the word missing people, the words missing people elicits very bad memories. You know that well. You spent about 3 months doing a report on it. So we sincerely hope for the best for the Carpenter family and all the friends and family watching out there. We'll do our best to get the word out there.
And as we, you know, I actually have a voicemail on my phone right now from one of the searchers, which I will get back to them, and we'll, of course, we'll keep the publicity going, and hopefully we can find him. So, we did want to touch on the top 3 stories that we're thinking about throughout this past week, so let us know what you think. Robert Overton's arrest and arraignment. His wife, of course, spoke out to us this week. This story, you know, part of me wants to say, you know, when is this going to end? But at the same time, a lot of people are really interested in this, and this hit a nerve with a lot of people, including myself, I would say. The actions that he had admitted to us on this show are effed off. They really are.
How many times has an infant fallen out of a window in the city? How many?
How many times?
To your recollection. What, 2 or 3?
Yeah, or more.
For the sake of...
I mean, there's been some... I believe... I haven't heard of a...
How many times has a dog fallen out of a window in this city?
We don't know.
0. I can tell you right now, we never hear about dogs falling out of window. People are so careful with their pets. And again... You know, pets are easy to take care of. You know, they can't talk back. They don't crap on you. They don't piss on you. I mean, you don't have to change their diapers. You know, there's a lot of responsibility with the child. And I think sometimes when people are met with their responsibility, not insinuating that anybody's a bad parent out there, but it's tough. Everybody knows being a parent's the toughest job in the world.
It's a difficult conversation to have because, you know, you talk about, you know, parenting. It's like some of these people aren't equipped to be parents, and then the people who are can't have kids, and it's just no one said the world would be fair, unfortunately. So
pets are easy to control, kids aren't.
Right. The Faulkner Motel, business owners there in the village are really upset about this slime hole. I'm just gonna say it. I mean,
suspected slime hole.
Okay, Matt.
Unless you say, hey, you know what?
I love Matty Ice.
We have something interesting from Chief Omis to share on Monday, that the volume of calls is up because the front desk attendant is worried about things that may be happening.
So stay tuned for that. Narcan was another story we reported this week. New numbers out by All Star EMS. We periodically get updates from Ron Hassan there, and the numbers are almost, I don't want to say unbelievable because it's the truth.
Yeah, they kind of make you mad.
It's the truth.
By the way, multiple people will be indicted in 6 overdose deaths at 1 o'clock in Buffalo.
Yeah.
We have that up on WNY News Now right now.
All right, let's turn to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who is going to have a very busy weekend, Dakota, as we're looking at winter's return.
Exactly. And, you know, I just said a minute ago that I'm ready to go home for the weekend, but no, I'm going to be working throughout the weekend. So, yeah, Weather people never sleep. Let's take a look at that quick solution 7-day one more time. Hopefully Friday the 13th hasn't screwed with my 7-day like it did with everything else today. So you can see pretty much 70 degrees for today. And again, if you're near the Lake Erie shoreline, you're probably going to be in the 50s. Now Saturday, that's going to be a whole mixed bag. There's going to be that freezing rain potential, mainly the highest potential for significant ice accumulation is going to be in the Niagara Frontier. We may see about 1/10 of an inch of ice later on Saturday as the temperatures fall, but the most significant icing will be northward. And again, the Weather Service is looking at the potential for upping the winter weather advisory to an ice storm warning. The overall criteria for that is about 1/2 inch of ice, and there's potential that some areas around Buffalo could see 1/2 inch. Temperatures go back down for early next week.
I'm rolling up my sleeves, gentlemen. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we could enjoy today, right? Enjoy the day.
Ice really here, or oh god, don't forget it. Don't answer that.
Have a great weekend. News continues at WNYNewsNow.com.
TGIF!
Dakota Hunter, we love you, but we don't love your words.